fortune. Gotta walk through a fire for what's important. The warrior's blood through your veins is coursing. Kill for hire, soldier of fortune. The whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act a fool. All you got and all you ever need is one bullet in the chamber. Really needs to take your aim, but ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? One ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Do or die, you're a mercenary. One of a kind that you're burdened to carry. Go and make them proud, do what's necessary. Oh no, do or die, you're a mercenary. Now the whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act the fool. All you got one bullet in the chamber. Really needs to take your aim, but ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? One bullet in the chamber. Really needs to take your aim, but ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Now the whole world's watching every move. Still your heart so much to prove.
If it's Thursday, it's time for Mystic Racing League. I'm Ellis Thomas, joined by Chris Smith in the Slingshot Racing Media booth. And tonight, we're bringing you race number 14 of the Fall Creek Plumbing National Series. Coming to you live from wine country in Southern California at Sonoma Raceway. Nestled amidst the Sonoma Mountains near the notable Sears Point Formation, Sonoma Raceway stands as a prominent fixture on the NASCAR circuit. Its 1.99-mile, 11-turn layout presents a distinct challenge for stock cars with modifications designed to suit their needs. Despite trimming away 2 slow turns and half a mile of track, the course still offers plenty of elevation changes in technical sections. Maintaining tire and brake performance while staying competitive proves to be a significant test for NASCAR drivers in real life and here on iRacing. Since its inception back in 1968 as Sears Point Raceway, named after that original family farm on the property, the circuit's undergone various transformations under different ownership, including a stint even with a Hollywood studio. Initially hosting a range of events from USAC IndyCar to AMA motorcycle racing, financial struggles led to its closure back in 1970. However, a reopening in 1973 saw the track catering to amateur sports car competitions and even drag racing. It wasn't until NASCAR's Premier Series arrived back in 1989 that the track's fortunes began to turn around. Subsequent extensive renovations, starting back in 2000 with a $60 million improvement program, have elevated Sonoma to the upper echelon of American motorsports venues. Chris, fun fact about this track, there are 25,000 individual tires around the track, serving as impact protection barriers for drivers who run into trouble around the course. What are these drivers going to have to do tonight to be able to avoid needing to make use of those tires and make it to the end in one piece with a good finish?
Well, Ellis, they got to get around all 12 turns of this extremely technical road course for 49 laps tonight. That's a lot of left-right turns, upshifting, downshifting, managing their tires. It's going to be a very difficult track around the what is known as sort of the short track of road courses. It's going to be an exciting night of action here with the Mystic Racing League.
Lots of action coming your way, but before we do any of that, we've got some stories to set you race fans up for the race tonight. And before we do those, we've got everyone's favorite Slingshot pre-race tradition. Everyone rise and remove your caps if able for the playing of the national anthem. We'll be right back. All right, Mystic Racing League back here from Sonoma, getting ready to go green in just a couple minutes. But before we do so, Chris, let's talk about the championship picture as well as some main storylines for tonight's race for the Fall Creek Plumbing National Series. Points first, Chris. Evan Janik dominated Gateway a couple weeks ago, and that was coming on the heels of a dominant victory at Road America. This guy is on fire. 3 wins on the season. He's the clear front runner in the points right now, but Adam Holston, Christian Barnes, not far behind. A couple drivers working their way into the picture. Alex Pollock, Caleb Hunt, Derek Jewett. Chris, what are those kind of 6th, 7th, 8th place drivers? What are they going to have to do to really make a stand when we get to the playoffs to win the championship potentially?
Well, they're going to have to stop the guy up there at the top of the points right here, Evan Janik. Evan has been consistent all season, and he's been fast all season as well. So they got their work cut out for him because, he probably could have won several more races as well. So I think first you got to stop that guy. You got to sort of figure out what he's doing and try to contain him on the racetrack.
Well, speaking of containment, we're going to have to contain some road course ringers tonight. Evan Janik's going to have his hands full because we've got some drivers here that might put on a show that we're not used to seeing up at the front. We've got newcomers like Beckett Brown won the Pocono ARCA race for Mystic Racing League just earlier this week. He's a newcomer. He could be someone to watch, absolutely. A couple of other drivers that we're going to be keeping our eye on over the course of the night are going to be individuals like Evan Janik, obviously, but Christian Barnes is going to be one to watch. Chris, at Road America, Andrew Allen was also very fast. So several drivers we're going to be keeping an eye on that we're not used to necessarily talking about as first, second, third place cars. And then let's talk about the track. Rhythm is everything, Chris. Why does rhythm matter so much at a road course, and why does it hurt so much when you lose it?
Well, here at Sonoma, there are so many there's a very important high-speed section at the backside of the track through the S's. And if you get out of your rhythm, if you missed like the first set of those corners, it's going to drastically affect your lap time. There's more opportunities to lose lap time on a road course than there is on any other type of track on a NASCAR circuit. And so that's why it's very important to maintain that rhythm. 49 laps of making these left-hand and right-hand turns. It's a very, very difficult night for these drivers. They're going to be wore out at the end of this thing, so maintaining rhythm is a very, very important step tonight.
Man, we're going to be talking about it all night long, but passing is not going to be the easiest thing to do. Where's their best bet going to be to make that pass to get up a spot in the running order tonight?
I think there's a few opportunities. Turn 11 is probably the best one. That's the hairpin corner, the iconic Turn 11 here at Sonoma Raceway. But also Turn 4 and Turn 7 are also some opportunities, especially Turn 7, the corner that is right before the S's. You want to try to complete that pass and get single file before you get into the S's portion of the track. Because it's pretty much single file through there. Other than that, Ellis, it's very difficult to pass here. So many elevation changes. Track is very narrow. Your opportunities are going to be very limited. So it might be when somebody makes a mistake is your best chance to possibly make a pass.
Well, speaking of mistakes, I talked to drivers in pre-race during practice, and they were just going on about how difficult these cars were to drive. Said they were like on ice out there because of how difficult it was to manage your throttle and not spin those rear tires when you're slowing down and then gassing up out of a corner. Rear tires are going to be a premium tonight, Chris, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that fuel window, 25 laps, and see if anyone tries to cut it a little bit short. And definitely handling is going to be at a premium. We'll be keeping an eye on that. With all that being said, Chris, qualifying is now in the books, and we can officially talk about the starting lineup for tonight's race number 14 for the Fall Creek Plumbing Series. No surprise here based on practice speeds. Beckett Brown, number 1 on the speed charts in that green and blue 00. Keep an eye on him tonight. Looks like we've got Evan Janik going to be starting outside on row number 1. The grid's looking a little bit weird here. Give me just 1 second. A couple cars still loading up. There we go. Cody Giles going to be 3rd. He's been fast. We've seen him have some speed this season, Chris. Keep an eye on that 5. To his outside, Adam Holston, Mr. Consistent, looking to find a win here on the road course. We've seen him be speedy at the right-hand tracks. Christian Barnes, another one who had a fast car at Road America a couple of weeks ago, starting 5th. Andrew Allen. I remember Christian Barnes and Allen going back and forth at Road America. We're going to have the same storyline tonight as Allen starts 6th. Jackson Hatala in the 09. We've seen him run a limited schedule this season in that 09 Logitech machine, but he has been fast. Keep an eye on him. Then a driver who just gets faster and faster each week. The number 6 of Ronnie Foster starting 8th. And then, Chris, this is one of these days we're going to be talking to Derek Jewett in Victory Lane. He's had fast qualifying efforts for the past several weeks, including a top 10 here tonight in that 45, but mistakes and bad luck have kept him out of winner's circle. Will that change tonight? We'll have to wait and find out. Brett Wren, starting in the number 24. We'll be keeping an eye on Brett's heart rate tonight, Chris. You said he was calm, cool, and collected on that heart rate monitor during practice. We'll see if that changes during the race. Caleb Hunt, the 78, going to be starting 11th. Alex Pollock, his teammate, will be starting 12th in the number 92. Reggie Kime starting 13th in that number 9, along with Jeff Fisher in the 22, green and white machine, I should say, starting 14th. David Moyer, speed the past couple of weeks, but bad luck's kept him away from a top 10. Can Moore get the job done tonight? He's starting 15th. He'll have to come from that far back if he's going to do it. Alan Zukoff in the 91 starting 16th with Zach White. Tail end of the field in that 17th position in the number 71, Chris. If you're the crew chief on top of that pit box right now, what are you telling your driver?
Just nice and easy right here on this first lap right here. You don't want to get caught up in a first lap accident because Ellis, with no cautions here tonight around the Sonoma Raceway, you can throw your race away here on the first lap. So you want to try to make sure you're around at the end of this thing. I'm going to tell my driver to keep his eyes peeled, be on the lookout for any type of trouble around him, and just try to get through this opening lap clean.
Clean is going to be the name of the game tonight, Chris. You think we're going to see some drivers mixing it up early here, getting some fender wear early on, knocking some of these sheet panels loose?
This is definitely the opportunity for that. So this is the chance where, the time where you possibly want to try to look after those fenders and try to, keep everything nice and clean out here. So hopefully that's the case here tonight.
Right now, drivers working their way through the S's. Chris, this is a difficult section of the track, one of the most rhythm-heavy sections that drivers can really lose or gain. Drivers making their first way through it tonight under pace speed conditions. Beckett Brown, Chris, he's a newcomer. These guys haven't raced him around him that much. If you're Evan Janik, Cody Giles, you got to be a little bit nervous with this 00, kind of an unknown quantity to your door, especially coming into lap 1 here. Lots of unknowns we're going to be following. Points leader Evan Janik, does he continue a streak of hot finishes, or does someone else find victory lane tonight? Does Janik have any mistakes? We're about to find out. They roll through turn number 11. The hairpin, as it's known, it's going to be on Beckett Brown to look for the flagman to wave that green flag for the first time tonight. They roll down the front straightaway. Several drivers catching up in the first 4 or 5 rows. They make that left-hand turn. We are under green flag conditions tonight from Wine Country. Janik slides into second place. Will he challenge Beckett Brown to the outside? Now he's going to be on the inside. The answer is yes. He has to relinquish it. Beckett Brown still close contact between the 71 and the 00 of Beckett Brown as they head uphill into turn number 2 and 3, headed down that straightaway towards that right-hander, Chris.
Ellis, one car off the track right there. That's Ronnie Foster in the 6. Look like he hasn't gathered. He was off in the dirt right there, but we're still underway right here.
Several drivers going into the dirt. They get ready to make this second right-hander, which is going to then lead them into the S's. It's one car length separating the top 3. Meanwhile, it's a battle behind. Holston in the 4th position is doing his best to hold off Christian Barnes and Andrew Allen. Currently, they are 4th and 5th, respectively. Looks like Holston's going to hold on to that position for now. A little bit further back, everyone seems to be single file. They figured it out early. One car off track. That, I believe, was Alex Pollock in the 92. Takes a header into the wall. But meanwhile, we've got a battle for the hairpin. Looks like Evan Janik tried to make a pass on Beckett Brown. Janik a little bit loose on exit. He's going to give up the spot to Cody Giles. Now to second place. Janik back to 3rd. Meanwhile, Beckett Brown says adios. Look in his rear view mirror, and those 2nd and 3rd place cars getting a little bit smaller.
Yeah, they definitely are right here. Beckett Brown had a really clean opening lap right here. Got himself a little bit of an advantage, about 1 second. Cody Giles got some pressure right here from Evan Janik, who wants to reclaim that second spot.
Evan Janik still working on second place, a little bit further behind them, further through the field. We're still single file. So we watch them Evan Janik try to gain a position. Chris, Janik really loose. Talk to me a little bit about what just happened there. Why are drivers getting so close to that wall on the exit of that right-hand turn?
Yeah, that's the exit of turn 4A over there. And yeah, you just want to try to utilize all the momentum that you possibly can, get back in the throttle as quickly as you can. And getting back in the throttles, we got one car around. That's Caleb Hunt in the 78. Looks like he's got it gathered and is back underway. One reason why you want to try to get as close to that wall as you can, so you can get back in the throttle as fast as you can to take advantage of all of that momentum. But Evan Janik right here is sort of slipping back on these opening stages. I'm a little bit surprised at this from the guy who dominated at Road America a few weeks ago.
Yeah, just looking, it's a long lap. We're just now headed into lap 3, but looking at his lap last lap time, he's made a couple of mistakes, and we talk about how kind of exacerbated those mistakes can be on a road course. You make a mistake, it can set you back quite a bit. Yeah.
He's got a lot of damage to the left front, and I guess he tagged that wall right there at 4A possibly when we saw him get really out of shape. So that is going to affect the handling of that Chevy. I'm not sure how significantly it will affect it, but yeah, that's there is a little bit of an aero advantage to be gained by keeping a clean car around here.
Speaking of clean cars, we might have a couple lose their cleanliness here as they head down into a couple corners. A battle for fourth position, Chris. Adam Holston, Christian Barnes, and Andrew Allen as we watch on top of each other. There goes Barnes by Adam Holston, slides right in front of Andrew Allen. This is a driver that we've seen fast at pretty much every road course he's run with Mystic Racing League. Allen in that black and green car, trailing the pink number 8 right now. Christian Barnes was able to get away cleanly. That 27, Chris, right in front of them is going to be one of the cars I am keeping an eye on as a potential dark horse tonight as they work to maybe gain a little bit of ground on Evan Janik. You can see just how tightly this hairpin brings them together. Hatala almost into the back of Andrew Allen there.
Yeah, Andrew Allen right here all over the back bumper of Adam Holston, looking back from the roof right here of Adam Holston's car. See right here, a little bit different approaches right there to the opening turn 1. You see how they're up the hill right here. A lot of elevation changes. Going to go back down the hill right here as they work their way through the next set of corners before going back up the hill. Sometimes, Ellis, it can be really hard to see when there's trouble up ahead because of all the blind corners around here.
Lots of blind corners. Speaking of blind corners, Chris, lots of buffering apparently in the chat. Feel free to cut my feed loose, and we'll wing it on my end, Chris, if that helps us gain a little bit of bandwidth here, folks. Thanks for sticking with us. There are a little bit of technical slowdowns, little internet issues, but we're working our way through it. Just like these drivers making these left and right-hand turns tonight, not used to this as the road course circuit only makes up about 5 or 6 races over the course of a 28-plus week season, and these drivers making it look a little bit easier than it is right now. Battle for the lead, though, Chris. Beckett Brown has gained on Cody Giles has gained massively on Beckett Brown. That 5 is fast. He's running some of the fastest lap times on the track. That time by 0.4 faster on that last lap than Beckett Brown. That 5 car is on a tear. Cody Giles is after it tonight, Chris.
Yeah, Giles right here. He's really, really getting through this set of corners right here, well up the hill right here, now going back down the hill, sort of fading a little bit to the left right there, trying to show that driver like, hey, I'm a little bit faster, maybe trying to force him into a little bit of mistake right there, and there's Brown going off the track just a little bit. I don't know if Giles can take advantage of that. It looks like Giles having a little connection issue of his own also.
Yeah, we've seen a couple drivers have that. Glad to know it's not just us tonight, but Cody Giles, you can see running a slightly wider line into that corner as they get ready to approach the S's. That renders a little bit of speed off the corner. Can he keep the rhythm going here with the 0 of Beckett Brown. Brown looked like he struggled a little through that S sector, Chris, and it allows Giles to get right up to the back bumper of the 0. Can he capitalize? Is he going to be close enough? Headed down into turn 11, gets that sand and dirt. He's going to try to make a sweeping move to the right. He's just not close enough this time by, but I'm sure he'll draw up right back to the back bumper of that 0. Runs a little bit slightly lower line on the entrance to that hairpin turn, and looks like it might have cost him a little bit of time off the corner. We've seen that multiple times. Drivers trying to set these passes up, you really have to be thinking about it at least a couple turns or corners ahead of when you're actually going to be able to make it. Good entrance by the 5 there, Cody Giles into 1.
Yeah, Giles really getting through right there very, very nicely. Giles still like trying to keep that pressure right there on him. Looks like he might have overdrove that corner right there. I believe that was turn 3. Here they are going down the hill right here, past the carousel section of the track into 4A. And look how they get a little bit wide right here, man. Look at Cody Giles almost going to hit that wall right there. Evan Janik as well. Janik seems to have recovered and is picking up the pace a little bit right here. I wonder if Evan Janik maybe has just been trying to save those rear tires, because it seems like the rear tire life is very critical here at Sonoma Raceway.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. I think you might be on to something. We've got a battle for the lead, but Evan Janik kind of watching this out of his front windshield, loving seeing these drivers getting after it, because guaranteed they are using up some rubber, pushing each other through the corners as they are doing right here. You can see just how deeply the 0 drives it in, and the 5 might have a run. He's not going to get the angle I thought he was going to get off the corner. I thought he was going to be able to arc it down and get a good run off, but Beckett Brown has a really good run through that corner, Chris. Another battle going on the track right now. Adam Holston and Andrew Allen, they are still neck and neck. This is a battle for the 6th position. Andrew Allen has been just kind of slowly biding his time in 6th position behind that bright pink 8 of Adam Holston. Adam Holston with one lone victory on the season. Andrew Allen searching for his first one. Could come on the road course at Sonoma tonight, but he's going to have 5 spots, 5 drivers to get through. If that is going to be the case, they head up to the 2nd and 3rd turn, and they're catching Christian Barnes. Barnes had a bit of a mistake there, if I'm not mistaken, as they make this big right-hander, big move by Andrew Allen, and it almost paid off, but loses traction off the corner, and he's going to pay the price, losing about 3 or 4 car lengths on exit, Chris.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of missed his brake marks right there, and just could not get it under control. Well, actually, he did get it under control and saved his car along with Adam Holston. So good heads-up driving right there by Andrew Allen.
Connor, we appreciate feedback. We know we've got some buffering going on, man. Internet can only do so much. We can't really do anything about it right now. The internet's going to internet. We hope it's not too bad. Hopefully it'll improve over the course of the race as we continue to watch this battle for the lead, battle for the 4th and 5th position. Adam Holston, Andrew Allen continuing to duel, but Holston looks like he's got the better of it right now, Chris. Cody Giles up front, still putting a heck of a lot of pressure on the back of Beckett Brown, fresh off a win in Pocono in the ARCA series for Mystic Racing League. You got me saying Mythic, Chris. Oh, boy, there goes Beckett Brown off course. Little dirt flying there. It's going to open the door for Giles. Beckett Brown, as I was mentioning, got a victory at Pocono, but Cody Giles saying, Mr. Hotshot, you come in here, you're a hot rookie, but you're not going to pull one over on me. That 5 is putting the pressure to the rookie of Beckett Brown in that 0 right now. It's allowed Evan Janik to slowly creep into the frame. Just about 8 car lengths now as they exit through the S's for the 8th time tonight. It's lap 8 of 49 for Mystic Racing League and the Fall Creek Plumbing Series, and we've got one heck of a duel between the 0 of Beckett Brown and the number 5 of Cody Giles. Brown a little bit loose off the corner. Does Giles make the move? No, the 0 heads off. He makes that block to the inside, and he takes away that lane for the 5. Chris, what do you make of that strategy that we just saw employed by the 0 of Beckett Brown? A little bit of road racing strategy there, maybe.
Yeah, definitely protecting your position on the entry to the corners. That's definitely a savvy move right there, and a move that, you you will see on road courses to try to, protect against a possible sort of dive bomb to the inside. If you're Cody Giles, how much more patient are you going to be right here with Beckett Brown, with Evan Janik looming closer and closer? And it seems like Giles is a fair bit quicker right here. He might have, not going to be able to do anything as Caleb Hunt is off the track letting these guys go.
Yeah, car in the wall. That's the 78. Left side damage for Caleb Hunt. He's had a bout of bad luck tonight. 2 laps down already for some early race troubles for that number 78 of Hunt. Meanwhile, up front, we continue to watch the battle brewing between Beckett Brown, Cody Giles, and Evan Janik slowly creeping into the frame, looking further through the field, Chris, and everyone's kind of sorted themselves out for the meantime. And again, Cody Giles keeps on applying the pressure. It's hard to look away. This time might be it. Does Beckett Brown make the move to the inside? He does. They've got a lap car. I believe that's the 91 of Alan Zukov right in front of them. They're going to have to make their way by Zukov. It looks like it's going to happen down into turn 2 or 3.
Big trouble for leaders, and they're going to get around Zukov cleanly, and the top 3 remain status quo.
Status quo is the word for the top 3 here. Lap 10 of 49 for the Fall Creek Plumbing Series, race number 14. It's Brown, Giles, Janik, Barnes, and Allen. We're going to step away for just a moment for an ad to hear from our partners at Whiplash Cameras. They're bringing you all the great coverage tonight with these camera angles. We'll be right back on the other end of this break. Stick around for some trivia.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wonder why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
Back here at Sonoma, the action is heating up for the lead. Beckett Brown continues to lead Cody Giles, but we've seen Evan Janik creep even closer. Andrew Allen, during that break, made his way by Adam Holson. He's cleared him by at least 10 car lengths now. Jackson Tall is going to be the next driver to try to work on Adam Holson in that 6th position. Meanwhile, a little bit further back in the field, Chris, let's move on to 8th position right now. Talk about Jeffrey Fisher. He's a name that we have not heard a whole lot from this season. Right now, running in the 8th position in that number 22. Good, clean run going for Jeff here. That's kind of what you want to see at a road course. He's on his own right now. Sure, racing each other is a heck of a lot of fun, but it also opens up the door for lots of possibilities of mistakes. And right now, Fisher hasn't put much of a foot wrong all night long. Chris, he started in the 14th position, picked up 6 positions on the night. He's your biggest mover in the field in terms of upward progress. It's also got a good-looking paint scheme. 22, the green and black is never a bad color combination. That particular shade of green something does it for me, but it looks good out there running in 8th position. Kudos to Jeff Fisher with a great run going tonight, and all the fans on in the chat rooting him on. Speaking of the chat, we know we've got some buffering issues, and we do apologize for that. We're trying to work and see what we can figure out to remedy that situation as we continue to watch the battle for the lead heat up. Let us know what driver up on lap 13. I think he's splitting those fuel runs in half as he came down pit road just about a lap ago.
Yeah, it seems like he's doing a little bit of a strategy call right here. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. But yeah, tires are going to be an advantage right here. Man, let's look at Giles under the brakes right here, really getting into turn 11 well. But he was not able to rotate down to the tires right there on that curbing. So we're going to watch right here over the course of this long run right here to see how, he'd actually tagged the wall a little bit right there on the front stretch. See how that leader right there, Beckett Brown, is able to maintain over the course of this run right here, or is Cody Giles going to be able to make the move?
Cody Giles working on making that move. We talked about a pit window being somewhere around lap 20 to 25. We might see some drivers short that just a little bit, and Cody Giles has just had opportunity after opportunity. But what I'll say for him, Chris, is I'm watching from the bird's eye view here, he hasn't put himself in a bad situation. A lot of drivers might be willing to do that. They might see the lead, they might get hungry, but shout out to the driver behind the wheel of that number 5, because he's been patiently lurking. I have a feeling that patience is going to run thin before too long. Big run through the corner. Final portion of the S's is complete. They head down into turn 10, which will lead them to the heavy passing zone. Giles are going to try to set him up with a late entry. Big run coming. Will Brown try to shut the door. He does. The 5 goes high. He says, where you go, I don't go. He gives the bump to the back of the 00, and this battle will continue for at least another lap. Right now, we're speaking of Beckett Brown and Cody Giles up front doing battle. Mano and mano, hardcore racing here on lap number 15 of 49. They're coming up on Reggie Kime in that number 9. Will it open the door for the 5 of Cody Giles? The answer is no. Giles into the grass just a little bit through that corner. Beckett Brown's going to continue to lead the way. Looking through the rest of the field for close battles. And Chris, every driver's kind of worked themselves out into a comfortable position right now. Everyone's just kind of locked in. We talked about rhythm being important. One thing I will say, Chris, they're coming up on Derek Jewett. They just got by the 77 or the 47. They're coming up on Derek Jewett. This should be interesting. Jewett's had some speed all night. He's at 11th. He's lost 2 spots from where he started, but he's got some speed that, again, as these leaders get closer and closer to the front of the field, and Jewett's going to let them both by, these cars are going to get harder to pass.
Yeah, you get drivers that are unwilling to maybe yield to the leaders, wanting to maintain their positions on the track right here. Big variations of speed on the road courses as Derek Jewett's going to make his way to pit road. With the longer lap time here compared to some of the ovals. Give a call to Cody Giles right here. And he's being very, very patient. It's almost like he's waiting for a mistake from Beckett Brown, but give Brown a nod as well. He's not making them.
Not making them at all. We've seen the first 16 laps of this race be really a flawless showcase from that Pocono winner earlier in the week. He's led pretty much wire to wire at this point. After starting on the pole. And again, they're coming up on some lap cars. It's going to open the door for Cody Giles to maybe make a run. I'm curious if we can't get an onboard shot in that 5 and kind of see what he's seeing as he comes up towards the back of the 00 in these couple of lap cars. Looks like one of them, the 47 of David Moyer, is going to get out of the way, but they're going to have to go through the car right in front of them, which is going to be the number 24 of Brett Wren. That heart rate's probably going to go up a little bit as they work on the back bumper. Brett Wren, again, this is for 9th position here, or the 9th place car being put a lap down here in just maybe half a lap or so, maybe less than that. Chris, we've seen the 5 of Cody Giles just really be superior through the S's and through turn 10. There is the 00. Beckett Brown makes that left-hand swing down that hairpin pit road entry. He can go as fast as he wants to before he hits that yellow line, and we're going to see him coming to the attention of his crew. We're going to track the speed of those pit stops, see if we can't figure out who's going to gain the edge on pit road. He crosses that dog leg down the main front straightaway. It's going to hand the lead off to Cody Giles. Now, the question is, does this press Cody Giles or force Cody Giles' hand here if he is going to keep up with Beckett Brown on this series of pit stops? We're on lap 17 of 49. They're about 7 to 8 laps before their tank is empty.
Yeah, possibly right here, because Giles does not want to lose a lot of ground to his competitor right here. We're going to be curious to see how Evan Janik shakes out right here with him coming to pit road several laps before these drivers. But yeah, I think this does put a little bit of pressure on Cody Giles to possibly make that stop very soon, possibly even this lap.
Yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on that 5 car as he rolls through the S's here on lap 17. It's going to be here in just a moment if we see if he feels like his hand has been forced, or will he stay out? Is he going to make that left-hand turn? The answer is yes. He makes the left-hand turn into that hairpin pit lane. He can go as fast as he wants through this corner. He can cook it if he wants. It's a dangerous move until he hits that yellow line where he's got to be at speed limit. He's coming down to the attention of his pit crew, Chris. Evan Janik had a 14.2 second stop. Beckett Brown had a 14.7 second stop. And to answer your question, Chris, Evan Janik did come out in front of Beckett Brown by about 20 car lengths or so. It's about a 2.7 second difference between Janik and Brown that Janik picked up by pitting about 4 laps earlier.
Yeah, about 4 laps right here. Let's watch the the gap between these two right here, the 00 and the 71. We'll see right here if Beckett Brown can maybe, close on that back bumper. See if those 4 laps different tires right here is able to make a difference. I think it will be, Ellis. I think tires are very important here on this road course, maybe more than many other road courses in stock cars.
Well, one of the things that was mentioned when I talked to multiple drivers, one car off the pace there, the 77, Zach White into the gravel a little bit. One of the things that the drivers were talking about, I talked to drivers like Alex Pollock and Brett Wren and Evan Janik in pre-race, and they shared with me that these cars were sliding around like they are on ice. Their right rear tires are the first things to generally start to lose traction here, and I think we've seen the effects by lap 13 or 14. These drivers are definitely sliding around. They've been sliding around all night, but you could definitely see that exaggerated as these runs have gone on. Now on lap 18 of 49, and Cody Giles, Chris, had a 15-second pit stop. That's going to put him behind Beckett Brown by a good 15 car lengths or so, or 2 seconds on the track. So Giles is going to lose a little bit on Brown, who lost even more to Evan Janik, Chris. But right now up front, shout out to Christian Barnes in that number 27. He's leading the way, getting those bonus points for the lap led. He's had a good race so far, hasn't put much of a foot wrong. We saw him have a great race going at Road America, and the final 5 laps kind of ended that good race for him, but still walked away with a top 7, top 8 finish. He's doing even better tonight. Right now, running in the lead, but we are in a middle of a pit cycle, so he will probably fall back to the 4th, 5th, or 6th position when all this shakes out. But if you're a Christian Barnes fan at home, you got to enjoy what you're seeing right now, and probably might be a little bit hungry if you're watching that Domino's car make that right-hander. Give me some pizza, Evan Janik says, as he closes up to the back bumper of that number 27.
Yeah, Andrew Allen right here getting passed by both Evan Janik and Beckett Brown. It got really, really close right there through turn 4. They've got it situated right here. Janik and Brown both get around the 96. They have their sights now set on Christian Barnes, but Brown is really gaining on Janik.
And Cody Giles may be the biggest loser on that exchange unless he can get by the number 98 or 96 of Andrew Allen, who's going to open the door on the inside. There's the 00 pass for the lead. He's going to get that position back. It's not quite for the lead yet. That's 3rd position, but it is the effective lead on the racetrack once the first 2 come down pit road for the first time tonight. It is now Evan Janik trailing Beckett Brown with Cody Giles and Andrew Allen lurking in those 4 car positions right now. Janik not letting go of Beckett Brown here as they head down through turns 2 and 3. They're going to be coming up on Christian Barnes in not too long. How much of a fight is Christian Barnes going to put up on those old tires? He's a good chunk slower than the rest of these guys, but is sure to mix it up as we watch live.
Yeah, right here. Beckett Brown really closing up on Christian Barnes. Brown sort of fading right here, trying to get Christian Barnes to look in that mirror. Barnes is going to hit his marks right there through there very, very well. And Barnes, this right here is this is the part right here, Ellis, where rhythm is so important right here. You miss your marks through the S's, you lose a lot of lap time. And Barnes, it looks like he missed his mark.
Barnes missed his mark as you were talking about it, Chris. Almost went through the gravel. Definitely heard footsteps coming behind him with those cars on fresh tires. I would be surprised if we didn't see the 27 make that left-hand swing down pit road, and he's not going to do it this time, staying out as long as he can. Janik with a little bit of tire smoke, putting it down into turn 11. He's going to lose a little bit of ground on Beckett Brown, but it's going to be Cody Giles who's going to be challenging Janik as they get ready to cross the line for the 20th time tonight. We now turn over to lap 21 of 49, just a few laps shy of halfway in race number 14 of the Fall Creek Plumbing Series. The battle for the lead is heating up. Brown's got to hold off Janik and Giles. Closest road course race we've seen of the season so far, Chris. This is delivering from all angles.
It really is right here. Janik under that pressure right here from Giles, cannot make a mistake right here. Giles has just been very, very masterful tonight in not pushing this car to the limit, over the limit. He's been very patient, been waiting for the drivers around him to make mistakes before he tries to make a move. Giles seems to have the speed tonight to contend for the win. He might have to force the issue a little bit right here with Janik if he's going to get around him. Otherwise, Brown's just going to keep on checking out.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Cody Giles maybe take a higher, later entry down in this corner than Janik and set him up off the corner. Does he get that run? Is he close enough to make that right-hander? He's not going to be this time. We're going to see him continue to trail. Oh, Janik into the tire barrier. Barnes has to take evasive action to his inside. It's not going to be enough to get Barnes by, but this is kind of, Chris, I've seen Evan Janik. This is, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You're really fast if you can get every ounce of racetrack out of that car, and he's done it tonight for the most part, but he's gotten the tire barriers a couple times, just glancing blows to the 71. I think we saw that be the case right there through 11.
Yeah, it looks like he used his fast repair on that pit stop to, fix the damage to the left front right there. Here comes the 5 right here, Giles. He's really close, but he's not going to show the nose here right here. He's going to remain patient.
Boy, sorry, right in front of them, Beckett Brown, contact with the 9 of Reggie Kime. We almost had the leader, part of an accident, headed down in this right-hander. Sorry to interrupt, Chris.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, that's the thing, about lap traffic here on a road course. If you're a leader right here, and Evan Janik and Cody Giles are going to run up on the back bumper of Reggie Kime, you cannot waste time with the lap cars here. You kind of got to go. I mean, and sometimes it puts the lap cars in a difficult spot right here. Cody Giles all over the back bumper of Janik. Can he get through this turn 10 right here? Maybe set himself up for turn... No, he got loose.
A little bit of loose, yep. A little bit of loose. He's not going to push it down into turn 11, Chris. That was maybe an opportunity. Here we go again. There's Cody Giles to the inside, but that inside line just not doing the job through turn 11 right now.
Yeah, right there, Giles did a really nice job in the previous corner, setting himself up. Unfortunately, just got a little bit loose right there, and Ellis, you got to be really careful about that here at Sonoma. Buzzing those rear tires, man, he's got really good center of the corner speed. Buzzing those rear tires, man, it can put you in a really difficult spot towards the end of a fuel run here, and Giles is all over Janik's rear bumper.
Chris, big battle going on right now for the second position. Other big battles going on the racetrack. Alex Pollock and Derek Jewett, 9th and 10th, Chris. This is a battle that we haven't talked about these drivers a whole lot tonight, but this is a battle for the 9th position. Pollock's trying to work over Jewett here. Very close racing as they climb the hill through these first couple of turns. Pollock looking like he's got a slightly faster race car, but Derek Jewett using all the racetrack to his advantage to try to stave off the battle from the number 92 of Alex Pollock. Again, this rhythm section going to be critical here in another corner after they exit this right-hander. And boy, Chris, Alex Pollock in the Slush Puppies machine is gotten a workout tonight. We've seen him up and down throughout the field with a first lap incident. He's climbed his way all the way back up to the 10th position. But one thing I will say, he's on old tires, so I think that might be part of where that position he's gained has come from. But looks like Derek Jewett's going to pull away and kind of take that 9th position convincingly from Alex Pollock. And we continue, Chris, up front. Here might be Giles' opportunity. Close contact, did the 71, work that 5 into the gravel to the right side. It looks like everyone's clean and clear on that one, but I don't know if Giles is going to appreciate maybe the lack of racetrack that 71 gave to him. And here we go again, an opportunity. Giles swings it to the right, headed down into the right-hander. Janik has no choice. The 5 cooks it. Is he going to slide it through the corner as they enter the S's? 5's going to make the pass. New P2, Chris. Cody Giles, second place. He will set his sights now on Beckett Brown, who's gained about 2.3 seconds on those drivers as they battled for second place.
Yeah, it definitely has right here. Giles just very patient right there. Did a really nice job of, waiting for that opportunity right here. And now let's watch the lap time right here from Cody Giles. Let's see what he can do compared to Beckett Brown. And you can kind of see it. You really don't even need to look at the lap time. You can just see it in there, with the eye right here on the track.
Yeah, and you can see the gains that the 5 is making slowly but surely. We're going to keep an eye on that, Chris, but we got folks asking for trivia in the chat. I think we might give it a try. I know we've had some internet buffering issues. Hopefully you can see the trivia questions. Don't worry, I'm going to read them to you either way, but if you need a refresher on how diecast trivia works, we will have 4 trivia questions over the course of the night. First 2 correct answers for each trivia question get a point on the board. Fan with the most points at the end of the night takes home the 1/64th scale diecast as we watch Cody Giles continue to make hay on Beckett Brown. Chris, first trivia question of the night, and these are Sonoma-themed questions. First question of the night. What former use did the land beneath Sonoma Raceway serve before becoming a racetrack back in 1968? Was it a military training ground, a gold mining site, a dairy farm, or was it Native American ceremonial land? Which of those 4 choices was the original use for the farm that Sears Point was built on? I know I said farm. Don't let that fool you, though. That might be the correct answer. It might not be. So go ahead, put your answers into the chat. First 2 correct answers are going to take home a point for trivia tonight. Go ahead, get those answers in. We'll leave the question up on the screen as we watch Cody Giles continue to claw into that lead that Beckett Brown had built up over the last couple of laps. We've crossed the halfway point. Giles now within a car length of taking the lead. He's had the fastest car all night long. Can he capitalize, or will Beckett Brown put up a fight as he has done all night long, leading most of all 26 laps run so far? Giles loses about 2 or 3 car lengths there to Beckett Brown as they enter that right-hander. Chris, this is going to get intense. How patient are you? Almost hits that tire barrier talking about Cody Giles. How patient are you if you're Cody Giles? Beckett Brown loose through the right-hander. Both drivers cook it. It looks like Brown might have cooked it just a little bit more. That's going to be a concern over the next couple of laps, Chris, because Brown's tires are not going to be happy, and I think you're seeing that play out right now as Giles gets ready to look to that right to make the pass, maybe on the exit to turn 10.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's going to have to watch out for those rear tires here for the next lap. I don't know if he's going to have much of a choice. Giles is just so fast right now.
Loose.
Yeah, Giles is really fast through the center of the corner. I mean, I'm just amazed by the center of the corner speed in that 5 car. Kind of missed his marks right there in turn 11, so we'll have to regroup right here on this lap. Not many opportunities, Ellis. You only get maybe like 2, possibly 3 opportunities per lap around all 12 of these corners. So, yeah, I think Giles has to make the most of it because I don't think that he wants to find himself behind Brown before the next set of pit stops. I think he wants to be in front and sort of dictate the course of this race.
I think you are absolutely right. They're probably 6 or 7 laps, maybe 8 laps away from the next pit stop, which will likely be their last one of the night. Giles working the back bumper of Beckett Brown. We've mentioned Brown's name a lot tonight. He kind of is a newcomer to Mystic Racing League. Giles almost gets the wall. Both drivers have a little bit of a rough travel through that corner there. We mentioned Beckett Brown won the Pocono ARCA race for Mystic Racing League earlier this week. He is new to the scene, but he's looking like a veteran tonight as he tries to hold off Cody Giles. Giles has the better car, but Brown's done yeoman work tonight, trying to hold off that advancing number 5. They exit the S's down into 10. It's been Giles' best part of the track, but Brown's been able to use that wide entry into 11. He does it once again to kind of send the signal. He's unwilling to let that 5 just slide by without a fight. That time they're dead even through the hairpin turn number 11. They come back onto the front straightaway, past those grandstands, across the start-finish line to complete lap number 27. Now just 22 laps remaining here from Sonoma. It's a lot left to be settled tonight as they come up on Brett Wren, the lap car, who's sitting in the 11th position. Will he play a factor in this battle for the lead between Brown and Giles? Wren's had a good night, but he hasn't been as good as
he turned him around.
There goes Beckett Brown in the 24 of Brett Wren. The 5 gives way of Cody Giles, lets off the throttle. He lets Brown get away with that one a little bit, but he applies the pressure as they head down into the second right-hander here, Chris. Boy, a lap car not in the right place at the right time. I can't imagine if you're Beckett Brown in that 00, you're too happy with Brett Wren in that number 94.
Well, and you know, if you're Brett Wren, you might not be happy that you got turned around also. You know, it's just huge variations of speed here between the drivers. So many drivers, you know, this is not their favorite type of racing, and so yeah, you know, I mentioned it before that lap traffic might play a critical role in this race. If you are a leader, you see how close these drivers are right here, first, second, and third. You cannot afford to wait behind a lap car. And sometimes, you know, you just kind of guess wrong for where they're going to go. And unfortunately, those two drivers met going up the hill.
They met, and Brett Wren got the worst end of that deal in that 24 car. He's back in the 12th position. Only lost a spot to Alex Pollock, who's running in the 11th position currently. Chris, one thing to keep an eye on, that 71, Evan Janik. We kind of been sleeping on him for the past several laps, but as the kids say, low-key, he's sticking around. He is living rent-free in the head of first and second place Beckett Brown and Cody Giles, because they can start to see him in that rear view mirror. And as they continue to fight, Janik just continues to gain ground. In that time by Chris, Evan Janik running lap times comparable to the leader of the Beckett Brown. So Janik, who we saw dominate Road America earlier in the season, kind of extend his points lead, he's not out of this fight yet. We might have counted him out, but he has clawed his way back in.
Yeah, he's definitely rolling up on these guys right here. Definitely cooking out on the racetrack right here. And
oh boy, I see what you did there.
Yeah, hey, you opened the door for me. I couldn't help it.
How much Gen Z slang can we throw in tonight?
This is going to be this race is pretty
my new
goated,
challenge.
This race is pretty. Oh, there goes the 71. He saved it, though.
Curtis, he goaded there. He holds on to it, Chris, as he was getting ready to maybe try to put a pass on Cody Giles. Doesn't lose, maybe. He loses a little bit of ground, but I'm not going to count the driver, that number 71, out yet. Hey, trivia-wise, we asked you what was the original use for Sonoma Raceway. We're going to get to that in a minute, but we got a battle for the lead right now. Cody Giles is all up in the grill of that 00 of Beckett Brown for the lead. They're going to be coming up on a car in front of them momentarily. We saw Brown have trouble with that a little bit earlier. It's going to be Alan Zukoff that they're working lap traffic with here in just about 2 corners. Can Beckett Brown get through that 91 cleanly? We saw some trouble with that earlier. And one thing, Chris, I'm noticing the 5 sliding his tires right now. Giles sliding his tires as they enter the S's off that last corner before the S's. And I'm wondering, you know, is that going to force his hand to make an earlier pit stop? We're just about 2 or 3 laps away from when we saw these guys start coming down pit road for the first time. They're catching the 91 of Zukoff here as they enter down into turn number 11. Difficult spot to get by a lap car.
Oh, and yeah, Giles all over the back bumper of that 00 of Beckett Brown. Beckett's doing a really good job down in the hairpin corner of turn 11 of keeping that thing as far right as he possibly can, all the way on those tires. He might not get into that corner as well as Giles, but he definitely protects his spot. We're possibly going to have some more trouble with a lap car here.
Oh boy, Zukov off track as they head uphill. Brown kind of hold his breath for a minute, but Cody Giles in that 5 continues to stay in the throttle. Good run for Giles off of this corner as they get ready to turn that wheel right. Giles is really getting into his best sector of the track. There goes Brown off the track a little bit. It's going to be enough to open the door for Giles. Does he make it through cleanly? The 0-0 Brown going to fight back on the outside. Can he put the throttle down? Are they going to be side by side through the S's? The 5 of Giles loose. Beckett Brown, the 0-0, regains the lead on a heck of a series of turns there that Beckett Brown took full advantage of the mistake made by Cody Giles. Brown dared to take it too wide. Cody Giles almost puts the bumper to the 0-0, headed down 2 turn towards 11.
Man, what a heck of a turn of events right there through the S's. Oh, and Beckett is sliding that car sideways through turn 11. Those rear tires have to be heated up. I think Giles is suffering from the same thing, Ellis.
I think Giles is absolutely now on the tire equivalent of Beckett Brown. Both these drivers feeling it. You just got rid of the trivia question, Chris. The good news is no one got that trivia question correct. Sears Point was a dairy farm before it was anything else, including a racetrack. Everyone was going with the military answer. Good try. But hey, if you didn't learn anything tonight, you did learn that Sears Point was originally a family-owned dairy farm property. Right now, the 5 trying to milk the cow of the 0-0 of Beckett Brown. That was a terrible metaphor pun, Chris. I'm sorry I even made it, but that 5 is still on the back bumper of the 0-0 of Beckett Brown.
Yes, he is. As man, Beckett is sliding that car sideways. There he is.
Contact. Another 2-wide fight through the S's. 2 laps in a row now. Giles to the inside. He's loose. He comes in front of Beckett Brown. Brown lifts out of the throttle. Giles gets by. He's back to the lead. 5 is now P1 once again.
Yeah, that was very, very close to cutting the course right there on the number 5, but we don't see a slowdown penalty, I don't believe, so I think he got away with it. And now Giles sideways right there off of turn 10. He's going to corral it, though. Beckett Brown looking to see if he can recover and hold off Evan Janik.
Chris, Cody Giles and Beckett Brown been doing battle for the past several laps. These are the fastest cars, but Janik still in the picture. And Chris, Andrew Allen, the 4th place car, he's a good ways back. It's a 3-car fight tonight. We do want to talk about some other drivers, though. If you're watching on YouTube and you've got a driver you want to see and you want us to talk about, let us know in the chat. We'll give you an update on him. You can see him on the ticker on the left hand, but this battle for the lead has been so great all night. It's really been hard to look away with these cars just duking it back and forth against each other for the lead. We continue to see that battle right now. Looking on the track, Chris, Christian Barnes is going to be getting ready to maybe claw into the lead of Andrew Allen in 4th place, I believe. I don't know if Andrew Allen got by Christian Barnes or not. I think Christian Barnes might be slowly gaining on Andrew Allen. This is a battle for the 4th position. We've seen Barnes and Allen really running in the top 5 all night long. And great race for both of these drivers going right now.
Yeah, definitely a great race for both of them. Really, really solid. Like you said, it's been hard to look away from the battle for the lead all night because it has been so close and so competitive. But, yeah, let's definitely give a call to these drivers right here. Couple different approaches tonight, it looks like. I would say Andrew Allen and Christian Barnes, they're looking to do this race on 1 stop, while as Cody Giles, Beckett Brown, Evan Janik looking to do this race on 2 stops, possibly right here. So Barnes and Allen, let's see how they shake out on this thing right here when those leaders in front of them come to pit road.
Yeah, they're going to be about 40 seconds or so back, and we've seen about 15 seconds in the pit stall. I think 25 seconds is asking a lot if Andrew Allen and Christian Barnes are going to be able to get by. It's going to be close, but that is a good point you're making, Chris, about the pit strategy we're seeing play out. If you're just joining us right now, let's go ahead and recap what's happened. We're 34 laps in, just 15 laps remaining here in this Mystic Racing League Fall Creek Plumbing National Series. Beckett Brown started on the pole, Cody Giles in 3rd. Those are your top 2, Evan Janik in 3rd. They've been running top 3 relatively all night long, but now we've seen 2 kind of clear pit strategies develop. 2 pit stops for the top 3, and then 1 pit stop only tonight for the 4th and 5th position of Andrew Allen and Christian Barnes. Which one's going to be faster? Do you want save time not coming down pit road, or do you want those fresh tires? We're going to find out what has more speed by the end of this thing as we, go ahead, Chris.
Evan Janik coming down pit road right here, Ellis, and this is going to be his final pit stop, and he's coming to pit road before Giles and before Beckett Brown come to pit road. So I wonder if those drivers are going to be, maybe feel like their hand has been forced here.
And Chris, let's watch Andrew Allen right now in the 4th position. This is going to be telling. Andrew Allen's going to be the first of those cars on what we believe is a one-stop strategy. Janik right now still sitting on the pit road at the front. Andrew Allen coming down out of turn 10 towards turn 11. The hairpin, Evan Janik still sitting in his stall. Cody Giles also still on the racetrack. Janik leaves his pit stall. He's going to have to merge. Andrew Allen, Chris, is just not going to be close enough to really get by Evan Janik. Evan Janik's going to remain roughly about 7 seconds ahead of Andrew Allen. So we mentioned at 38 seconds, it's about 31 seconds on pit road. Christian Barnes and Andrew Allen just not going to have enough to get by Evan Janik. So I think that answers our question potentially about that pit strategy. Chris, here comes the leader, Cody Giles, down pit road for the second and final time tonight. Can he hit his marks? So let's compare pit times. 14.7 for Janik on that lap, Chris. We're going to be keeping an eye on what Giles is able to run. And you mentioned Janik came down pit road. Where will they come out? Cody Giles coming down a slow and winding pit road. He's going to have to slow down to come into his pit stall. While this is happening, Evan Janik is going to be coming out of turn 10. One car, Chris, on the exit of turn 10. It looks like the 92 of Alex Pollock has parked it. He's got it going again. But Evan Janik winding his way through turn number 11. Cody Giles still on pit road. Evan Janik now onto the front straightaway. Giles is going to be slow to get off pit road. There goes Beckett Brown. Janik gets by both of them, Chris. Cody Giles, slow pit stop, Chris. 20.4 seconds in the box for Cody Giles, who came in as your leader. What happened there?
Let's go back and see if we can determine what happened. Not sure why he was in his stall that long. I'm going to go back to the very beginning of it, Ellis, and see if maybe looks like he didn't slide through. Tires go, jacked up the right side right here. Going on that thing. And I wonder if there was some type of penalty, Ellis. Like if they asked him to hold for 5 seconds for...
It might have been speeding. I didn't see any black flags pop up on my telemetry, though.
Well, and usually if it's a speeding penalty, it's a 40-second hold on pit road. So in this case right here, I wonder if it was like a race control decision, if they were unhappy with something that he had done on the racetrack and just held him in his stall, maybe for just asked him to stay there for just a few seconds.
That's very possible, but regardless of the cause, the effect is that Cody Giles is back in 3rd position, about 3.7 seconds back from the leader now, Evan Janik. And just to recap and set you up to understand the situation here, Cody Giles has arguably been one car off track, Chris. That's the 77 of Zach White. Cody Giles has been arguably the fastest car all night long, right side by side with Beckett Brown. That's 2nd and 3rd place. They're trying to catch Evan Janik. They're about 1.4 seconds back. And as Evan Janik has to fight his way through traffic, they continue to gain just a little bit on Janik, who's really had the 3rd place car all night long. And no offense to Janik, but the 00 and the 5 have just been faster, and they are continuing to gain ground on Janik. Beckett Brown now with 1.6 seconds. A little bit loose, Chris. They're going to have to be careful not to push their cars too early here. They might fall into that trap of using up what they have a little bit too early. But right now, Janik has to be delicate behind the 9, the Dream Machine, the Scooby Machine. What do you call that? The Mystery Machine,
Mystery
Chris?
Machine.
Oh boy, Janik almost in the back of time. He has to slow down through that corner. It allows Beckett Brown to come within a second. Now 18 0.2 of a second. They make that right-hand hairpin turn. Cody Giles also into the frame now. Top 3 neck and neck in the final 13 laps. Here now 12 laps remaining at Sonoma for Mystic Racing League in the Fall Creek Plumbing Series. Chris Janik has got to have a job ahead of him if he is going to hold off Beckett Brown and Cody Giles. This thing is going to get wild. Brett Wren off track. He lets those guys by. Courteous move by the 24. He's not going to interfere in this one. And Beckett Brown is there, Chris. Janik is lost about 10 car lengths to Brown over the past 5 corners.
He definitely has right here. You can look right here from the rear bumper of Evan Janik. Beckett Brown closing right up on the rear bumper. Look at that car under braking right there.
Slides it.
Yeah, he was sliding right there on the entry to that corner right there. Beckett Brown going to try to make these S's as straight as he possibly can, but Evan Janik's going to try to do the exact same thing to try to maximize his speed through here. Maybe try to open up that gap again right here, but I think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be a really, really difficult job right here for Janik to hold these guys off behind him.
Chris, they're matching each other punch for punch. And right now, both of these drivers showing a massive amount of Riz, no cap.
Oh gosh, yeah. Don't know how I can follow up with that one right there, but yeah, these drivers out here, they are leaving nothing on the table here tonight, Ellis.
Nothing on the table, indeed. They're both giving main character energy as they head uphill into turn 2. Janik clips the curb. Brown matches that. Brown continues to close, but Cody Giles, Chris, he's the closest he's been. He is the fastest car on the track right now.
Beckett Brown sideways right there, coming up the hill right there, but he's able to save it right there as they make their way through turn 4. Ellis, this race right here is infinite aura.
Oh, jeez. You've taken it up a whole nother level, Chris. You are eating right now.
Leaving no crumbs behind.
Oh, boy. People hate us in the chat. If you're trying to figure out what's happening, we're just using Gen Z slang. Chris laid down the challenge earlier, and we're just having a little bit of fun with it. Right now, these drivers' top 3, they're having fun, but they're also white-knuckling it through these corners. It is coming down to the final 10 laps, folks. Recapping your top 10 is Janik, Brown, Giles. That's the battle we've been watching. Andrew Allen and Christian Barnes, they've been exchanging positions all night in 4th and 5th. Jackson Hatala having a really good run. There goes Beckett Brown. Cody Giles, contact. Caution is out. This is going to be a full course caution, Chris. This changes everything as Jewett gets in the back of Beckett Brown. And boy, let's hit the pause button because we're going to have to reset. And Chris, I think Beckett Brown is going to have to use a quick repair. He's got smoke coming out of the back bumper. That has been the fastest car all night long. And boy, yeah. Let's find out what happened because there's going to be some hurt feelings here.
And Ellis, can he make it back around? This is a long
He's got
lap.
a meatball.
Yeah, but
he's got a meatball flag.
Can he make it back around before that engine blows? He wants to take that fast repair without having to tow back to the pits. We kind of missed it right here a little bit, so we'll kind of go back. And we'll kind of see if we can watch this from overhead, maybe from a drone perspective right here. As they enter the hairpin turn 11, Brown, I don't know if maybe... Yeah, it looks like he kind of missed the entry a little bit right here. Giles is going to make a little bit more of a straight approach right there. Gets into the left rear and right into those tires. And those tires do a lot of damage to the nose right there of the 00. I think the engine has already been damaged in that hit. Yeah, you can see the black smoke coming out of the rear of that thing. He's going to gas it up right there. Yeah, and he makes some contact with the side of Giles and the left front of Derek Jewett, who unfortunately is an innocent victim in that deal.
And Chris, one thing I want to talk about here, these top 3, they had been on pit road 5 laps earlier, but the big winners here might be Andrew Allen and Christian Barnes as well as Hatala. They had been on pit road 15 laps ago. This is going to be their opportunity to potentially get fresh tires and actually have a cleaner set of fresh tires on it than the leaders. I take that back. Janik and, oh boy, Chris, Cody Giles stays out. Janik's going to give up the lead for 4 or 5 laps fresher tires than the leaders. What do you make of this decision here? This is a gutsy call here for Evan Janik.
Yeah, I actually think that Janik is sitting really, really good right here with that call. There's only 7 cars on the lead lap right here. Beckett Brown's on pit road. Evan Janik's on pit road. Andrew Allen's on pit road. Christian Barnes on pit road. Jackson Hatala is coming around right here. We'll see if he decides to make a pit stop. He will. That's going to put Evan Janik in second spot, Ellis, with 4 fresh tires. I actually think it's going to be possibly a race-winning call for Janik.
Oh boy, Cody Giles is going to have his work cut out for him. If you just joined us, first caution of the evening came on lap number 40. Contact between Cody Giles and Beckett Brown through the corner. Brown, who had one of the fastest cars along with Giles all night long, comes out on the worst end of that, Chris, but I take that back. Brown's going to be in third. Fresh tires, fresh car. This might play right into his hands. He's no worse for wear on this situation, if we're being fully honest, because he was really sitting in second or third before this caution came out. So, you mentioned it. Giles, I think, did what he had to do, but we're going to find out if he gave main character energy there or if he sold.
Oh gosh, yeah, I think that Cody Giles was sitting in a very unfortunate position there. When they came to pit road, because I think that the drivers behind him were probably just going to do the opposite of what he did. I take that back because he was in second. So Janik decided to come. Sometimes you just roll the dice and it doesn't work out in your favor. And with the laps on these tires, specifically these rear tires, it's just 5 laps, Ellis. But I just think it's going to make a big difference here.
Oh, Connor Lyons is mad in the chat, Chris. He was rooting for that Kyle Larson paint scheme for the 5 of Cody Giles. Not happy about Giles getting involved in that crash and maybe being in not a great position here on tires and pit strategy. But hey, we've seen wilder things, Chris. You mentioned it, five laps is a lot on these tires, but we're about to see what's going to happen. It's going to be 7 laps to decide the winner here at Sonoma Wine Country, race number 14 of the Fall Creek Plumbing Series. I'm Ellis Thomas in the booth, joined by Chris Smith for Slingshot Racing Media. If you are watching right now and you haven't hit that subscribe button, first of all, we appreciate you tuning in so much to get some great racing action here. We do this 3 times a week. Starting this summer, really started this past week. Hit the subscribe button so you can make sure that you get connected every time we go live with some amazing live iRacing action. Tonight, it's the Xfinity cars from Mystic Racing League. They're working their way through the S's 2 by 2. The pace car is leading them down towards turn number 10 and 11. It's going to be 7 laps to decide the winner here. Resetting things after a collision between the second and third place cars brought us under caution. Beckett Brown had the worst damage from that after having the fastest car all night. He's in that green and blue 00. He's got fresh tires. Evan Janik has fresh tires. Christian Barnes and the number 96 of Andrew Allen have fresh tires, Chris. Is that 5 a sitting duck as the pace car gets ready to pull off?
Possibly right here. We're going to see how it all plays out right here as Cody Giles thinks he's going to have his work cut out for him right here on this restart right here. But anything can happen on a restart, Ellis.
And he is the control car. Let's keep that in mind. He's got the advantage. If he can get clean out in front of Janik, he can use that racetrack and his sheet metal to his advantage. He's going to mash the throttle. Great restart for the number 5 of Cody Giles. Chris, he does what he has to. Meanwhile, Andrew Allen gives the 71 of Janik a run for his money, headed down into 1. Here comes the 00 of Beckett Brown. Giles throws it into that right-hander in turn number 2. Beckett Brown looks to the right of Evan Janik for second place. Will there be contact? Both drivers show a little bit of discretion here. Brown's got the better exit. Can he get by the 71? All this is going on in the rearview mirror, Chris. Cody Giles, Brown with an aggressive move.
Yeah, Brown right there showing the nose to Janik, but Janik is not fazed by that one bit. He maintains his ground right here, and he is closing up on the rear bumper of the 5 as Beckett Brown's going to slide that car sideways.
These drivers have been sliding it all night long. In pre-race, they talked about how they were driving on ice. The Zambonis here at Sonoma Raceway and Wine Country. We've seen them sliding it out, drifting all night, but it's going to come down to the final 6 laps. Cody Giles, your leader. Second place is Evan Janik. They exit turn 10, down now into turn number 11 towards the hairpin.
Janik right here, really good under the brakes, closes right up on the rear bumper of Cody Giles. Giles is going to have his work cut out for him. He's doing a really nice job right here of maintaining his ground right here. See that car sideways right there? It's just the difference in tires right there between the 5 and the 71. 71 coming up the hill right here. He's looking driver's right. Don't know if he has the position to make the pass.
Cody Giles closes the door into turn 2 as they head uphill down into turn 3. Giles in that 5. Evan Janik in the number 71. Second place. Beckett Brown has slid a little bit further back in third, about 7/10 of a second, about 8 car lengths if you're looking at the track from a bird's eye view. Giles makes the right-hand turn. Beckett Brown back into the frame. Janik just 2 car lengths back now from Cody Giles as they head down to the second right-hander. Giles thinks about it. He thinks better of it before the S's. Doesn't want to go side by side with Giles through the toughest portion of the track.
Yeah, Giles right here doing a really nice job right here. Try to maximize his speed in the corners where, you know, Janik has a good chance to possibly make that pass. Relax in the corners maybe a little bit where Janik cannot make the pass. But here comes Janik right here. He's closing right up on him again, Ellis.
Janik closes on the back bumper in that blue and black number 71, closes to the back of the blue and white number 5. Giles and Janik within a car length of each other, exiting turn 11 now onto the main straightaway now for the 44th time, now 45th time, 5 laps left from Sonoma. The flagman shows them the 5-fingered hand, letting them know it is crunch time. Down to the wire, Giles throws it down into the corners. They head uphill. Janik now just a car length back. Every move Giles makes, Janik is trying to mirror it just a little bit differently to try to gain an edge on corner entry and corner exit as they head down. Now just limited opportunities left to make the pass for the win. And don't forget about Beckett Brown, Pocono winner from earlier in the week. He's got his sights set on a potential collision between Giles and Janik, and maybe he can be the benefactor here if something goes wrong between those two.
Yeah, what a turn of events right here for Evan Janik, who went from looking like a driver on defense in the closing stages of this race with those drivers on fresh tires coming behind him to now being on offense as Giles has opened it up right here through the S's, Ellis.
I was about to say, let's shout out Cody Giles for putting on. We talked about he was going to have a yeoman's job cut out for him, and so far, that 5 has risen to the occasion here in wine country. Janik closes the door through the hairpin. He's about 4 or 5 car lengths back, and just about 4 or 5 car lengths back behind Janik, you got Beckett Brown. It's anyone's race in these final 4 laps, Chris, as these drivers work their way around about 1 minute and 20-second laps. We've got 6 minutes left in this race, and it is going to be a wild 6 minutes. If you're watching right now, thank you for tuning in. Let us know who you think is going to win in the chat. Who do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be the 5, the 71, or third place, the 00 of Beckett Brown right now? Giles, the 5, opens up a bit of a lead, but is Evan Janik, maybe Chris, just letting his tires cool off to make one final run in the final 3 laps of this shootout?
Definitely a good possibility right here as these drivers, they recognize that they're coming down to the end stages of this thing. They got to have the best maneuverability they can possibly have in these tires right here. Giles doing yeoman's work to keep that thing out in front on those slightly used tires. Just shows the impressive speed that he's had all night. I feel like, you know, he's probably been the fastest car all night. Just been kind of trapped behind other drivers, been a little bit, you know, patient all night long. You know, he's been very, very patient, been very fast. But Evan Janik, feel like he's also been maybe hiding just a little bit just how fast he is. He's closing up on the back bumper of the 5 once again.
Closing back up on the bumper of the 5. Let us know who you're rooting for, who you're standing for out here tonight. Is it Giles, Janik, or Brown, or maybe even another driver right now? It's anyone's guess. Janik now about 4 car lengths back from Cody Giles in that 5. And boy, Chris, it has been a wild night all night long, and it's coming down in no way different than what we thought it would be. A shootout to the very last lap. 2.5 laps left. Giles opens it up a little bit, and it looks like Beckett Brown has fallen out of this about 2.4 seconds now, Chris. Sure, he's still in it if Giles and Janik get together, which is a real possibility, but I'm astounded by what Giles is doing here, Chris, on 5-lap older tires. we've seen him be really the fastest car. He's going to have Alex Pollock to get by in that Slush Puppies number 92, and it could happen down into turn number 11, which is certainly not an ideal place to try to get by a lap car, as we've seen a couple times tonight. But Giles clearly out in front now by a second. Janik maybe just cooling off his tires, and here's an opportunity, Chris.
Oh, the
number 92,
sideways.
Giles behind the lap car, the 92 slides it. 2 laps left from Sonoma. Can Janik do anything? Now 4 car lengths back. Janik looking for win number 4. Cody Giles looking for win number 1 of the season. They both clear Alex Pollock in that number 92, headed uphill.
Yeah, Pollock does a really nice job getting out of the way, letting these drivers, these leaders, settle it amongst themselves right here, as Janik is really keeping the pressure on the back bumper of Cody Giles. You have to wonder, is Evan Janik going to put the rear bumper to Giles, or is it going to have to be a mistake from Giles to enable Janik to get around him?
And Chris, we're now on lap 12 for Giles. This is the fall-off point based on everything we've seen tonight. Lap 12 or lap 13 is where these tires really start to get angry, and I think we saw an example of it just about 5 or 6 turns ago. Now 1.5 laps left, and a bit of a connection issue for Cody Giles in that number 5. If Janik is able to close, that could be a concern trying to get by for the lead, but now it's 1 second. The distance between first and second. Cody Giles getting ready to come to the white flag here in Sonoma. Meaning this race is official. It will finish under green if we can get the white flag without a caution. Janik drives it in hard down into turn 11. He's about 6-7 car lengths now, 0.7 of a second, Chris. He picked up 3 seconds in that final set of corners.
Yeah, he definitely did right there. Janik, giving it all he's got. He drove it into turn 11 so deep right there as these drivers received the white flag.
White flag is out. Drivers climb uphill for the final time tonight. It's Janik in that black and blue, number 71, trying to catch the 5 of Cody Giles, who's led after this final restart. We thought he was down and out in a sitting duck, but if anything, he has proven us absolutely 100% wrong, holding tough in the lead for the final 6 laps of this race. Can he do it one more time? He's running out of corners. Janik, limited opportunity if he's going to try to make this pass through the S's for the final time. 1 car off track in front of them. Will that play a role? Will they catch the lap car? I believe that might be the 77 of Zach White. Will he get out of the way? It's about 8 car lengths now separating Cody Giles from the 71. White gets off the track just in time, but unless Giles makes a mistake through turn number 11, he's looking like he's going to pick up his first win of the season in thrilling fashion. He puts on a masterclass in driving on old tires. He drives away from Janik. Cody Giles, the number 5, wins in Sonoma.
Great performance tonight out of Giles Ellis. He was on the money all night long right there, and especially when it counted right there in the closing stages on those older tires. Great performances tonight out of Evan Janik and Beckett Brown, who were also giving Cody Giles everything he could handle all night long tonight.
And boy, that was a wild one. We're going to catch up with Beckett Brown, Evan Janik, and your winner, Cody Giles, in just a moment. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been an awesome race. Go ahead and let us know if your driver did well tonight in the chat as we try to gear up for some interviews here. Let's see if we can't get old Beckett Brown, Janik, and Cody Giles into the chat real quick. All right, we're going to pull in Beckett Brown. Hey, Beckett Brown, it's Ellis and Chris in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Beckett, well, this is the first time we are talking to you coming off a win at Pocono earlier in the week. Congrats on that. Newcomer to Mystic Racing League, at least this season. Talk to us about what it's been like to drive with these guys just a week or two in.
Yeah, it's been fun. It was definitely a up and down race, leading most of it and then getting spun out there at the end.
What happened there? What's your take on what happened on lap number 41?
Well, you can run the same braking marker for 40 laps, and it doesn't really matter if the guy doesn't want to be around you racing clean. So we'll see what happens.
Does that mean that you might remember this next week?
Nope. It just depends on how I race him in the future. Maybe I'll be a little more aggressive, maybe not.
Roger that. Well, man, you still held on for a great third place finish. That caution, while it definitely hurt you, it also served to your benefit, able to get fresh tires and a good, clean sheet metal on that car to be able to hold off and finish third tonight. Before we let you go celebrate that podium finish, any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, Aaron, he's on vacation, but I'm pretty sure he's watching this. David, Roy, all those guys in my race chat that were helping me.
Awesome, man. Well, Becca Brown, congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. It's good to have you in Mystic Racing League.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, so that was Beckett Brown. We're going to try to pull in Mr. Evan Janik here in just a moment, if we can track him down in the chat. My eyes might be deceiving me. But Evan Janik is not.
I think he's in the
showing up for me, Chris.
I think he's in the hall.
Oh, he's in. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and pull him in regardless. Evan Janik, it is Chris and Ellis. You got a copy?
Yep, I gotcha.
All right, I'll let you take over, Chris.
Hey, Evan, so great performance tonight out of you. It was looking like you were possibly going to be able to use those new tires to your advantage right there in the closing stages of the race. Tell us about your night right here. It just looked like you were doing a really nice job hanging around and had some good speed in that 71 Chevy tonight.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes and hit the tires out at 4AA or whatever they're calling it. And was actually surprised that I was able to keep with them. And so as soon as I saw that, I wanted to pit early, get in front of them. It passed me. Then I hit the tire barriers on the inside of the hairpin. And so I was dealing with that damage the rest of the race, but still thought I was fast. And was really not happy about that caution that came out. I was just looking at it with race control, and I don't think it should have been a caution, but I can't control it. And should I have not made those mistakes when they were battling, I thought I could keep up with them and actually save better. So, second's not a bad day for how it went, but definitely wanted to win.
Yeah, you kind of led into my next question I was going to ask right there. If that caution had not come out, how confident do you feel about your chances to be able to hold those guys off?
Oh, very, because, well, you saw them behind them, or you saw them racing for the lead for who knows how long, and you saw them racing hard behind me. So, with them racing that hard and just not willing to let each other go to whoever's faster to try to win, I knew I was going to be able to pull away just because they were racing so hard and burning the tires off.
Well, Evan, you definitely did a great job all night, had some great speed. You're going to hit the track next week at Milwaukee here in the Fall Creek Plumbing National Series. You like your chances heading into Milwaukee?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever run Milwaukee, to be honest with you, so I'm going to have to practice a lot during the week. But me and the 5-Star Racing group, we do practices every week, so I have a feeling we'll be able to figure it out.
I have no doubt that you definitely will. Before we let you go celebrate this great second-place finish tonight, you got any shout-outs?
Yeah, thank you to Super Oil Bros for their support here in real life. Thank you to 811 UDIG for their support also. Thank you to the 5-Star Racing group. It's been a lot of fun racing with them. Thank you to 9222 Designs for all the paints. And thank you to Fall Creek Plumbing for sponsoring the series.
All right, that's Evan Janik, our second-place finisher tonight. Congratulations, great run tonight, bud.
Thanks.
All right, Cody Giles, winner tonight. It's Ellis and Chris in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, congratulations. And correct me, is this your first win of the season?
No, I won back in Bristol.
Bristol, okay, that's right. Bristol. For some reason, I forgot about Bristol. I'm so sorry. Well, it's a completely different track tonight, man. Good job. First of all, I want to jump back to that incident that happened in the hairpin. Walk us through kind of your perspective on that.
I didn't even mean to hit him. I mean, like, he he went a little bit high going into the hairpin. I kind of got under him a little bit. I had enough room to get under. He left me the gap. I took the gap, and he came down. I mean, I don't know what more I could have done there, but I'm definitely not going to lift and just, let somebody have it. I mean, hopefully that's not me being a, um, bad person, but this is racing. This is not me just hand over positions to people. And I mean, if that's the way he sees it, then that's fine. But, destroying me after the race is like pretty ridiculous, but that's okay.
Is that something you plan to have a conversation with him about in the middle of the week before the next race at Milwaukee?
Quite frankly, I don't really care. I mean, he he answers for his own actions and everything else, so that's fine. He can cry, whine, bitch, and moan. I don't care. I mean, I'm not just going to hand the position. If I've got a car under him, he comes down, and then, there's an incident. It's not like I deliberately just plowed in the back of him, but, I had a faster car, and I wasn't going to, just because I had the fast car, I wasn't going to immediately just go, okay, I'm just going to dump him. But I'm surely not just going to let off. It's coming down to the wire. It's coming down to the last few laps, dude, and I'm still having to try to get around Janik after getting around him. But my intentions wasn't dumping him or doing anything like that. But the incident prior to that, I mean, I was under him. He left me no room, so I basically off-roaded going into the S's and took the lead that way. I mean,
well, let's talk about the happy stuff now. We'll see what happens next week between you and Beckett Brown. But man, what was your thought? Let's just set this up. Caution comes out. Obviously, you know what happened there, but you stayed out and you saw the guys behind you come in for fresh tires. You had about 5 lap older tires. What was going through your mindset, A, in the decision you made, but also the aftermath, knowing that the guys behind you had fresher tires?
Yeah, I knew they were I knew Janik was going to be quick off the restart. That's why I kind of went at my go, and just, kind of set myself a gap. But because I knew, he had fresher tires. So, and consistency. I mean, I messed up a few times there, with a couple laps left. So, it basically, was pretty, it was a Hail Mary. Didn't know how much damage I had from the incident prior, but so, going into the corners and, down the last few laps, I just, very consistent, at least tried to be consistent. I mean, I felt it in the rear ends. The rear ends were gone. I knew that, and trying to just baby it and try to just hit my marks. And I knew Janik was just going to have a faster car because of those tires.
You hit those marks perfectly. You didn't put a foot wrong in the final shootout there. You held your own. You did yeoman's work to hang on and win your second race of the season. We're headed to Milwaukee next week. Completely different type of racetrack. Is there anything you can carry over in just a few words from what you learned tonight?
Not really sure. I'm part-time here, so we'll see if I'm able to make Milwaukee. But Milwaukee is, it's a tricky track, man. It's literally like Bristol and Martinsville, put together. It's a challenging track, which, going from a road course to a short track like that, or a track like Milwaukee, it's, it's fairly different and fairly, different between braking and throttle management and stuff like that, and tire wear. So, it's different, it's definitely different. And, if I happen to show up next week, we'll see. We'll definitely see, because I've rarely ran there.
Well, man, we'll be looking forward to hopefully seeing you next week. Any shout outs before we let you go?
Yeah, SHR, not SHR, CHR, my bad. CHR 1776. Pretty much, all them guys. Shout out to them guys. Shout out to you guys for, being able to do this and broadcast for this series, and I appreciate you guys.
Hey, we appreciate you. Cody Giles, great win tonight. Go celebrate.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
All right, so Chris, we heard from the top three, a bit of a difference of opinion between third place finisher Beckett Brown and your winner, Cody Giles. We'll see if that heads anywhere in the coming weeks, but a great race overall. It saw one caution in the final stages that really shook things up and changed the complexion of the race on its head. I think this race had it all. It had pit strategy at one point. It had great racing action. It had battles for the lead. It had the leaders battling with each other and even a little bit of contact and some hurt feelings in the end. What are you looking forward to seeing next week at Milwaukee for race number 15?
Oh, Ellis, it's going to be a very different type of a race next week. Not a short track, Ellis, but definitely kind of has some short track tendencies. I'm really looking forward to seeing these drivers hit the track at Milwaukee, one of my favorite tracks. I really enjoy running around there, racing around there. So I'm excited to see these drivers hit the track. And also, Ellis, it's kind of a track that can you can kind of maybe see some paybacks given at Milwaukee. So if a couple of these drivers show up there, might see some fireworks here. I'm not going to guarantee that. I'm just saying like it's a possibility.
Well, as of now, you never know what's going to happen next week in Milwaukee. That'll be same day, same night, same time, same channel, Race 15 in Milwaukee, Chris. But we've got some other exciting events being broadcast on Slingshot Racing Media over the course of the next several months. On Monday nights, we've got the Spark ARCA series that is running. Monday night, I believe you're running in that series.
Yeah.
In one of the cars. You won the season opener at Daytona and had a pretty good finish this past Monday at Five Flags, yeah?
Yeah, we won the Clash at Daytona in the ARCA car and had a third place finish in the Slingshot machine at Five Flags. Looking forward to getting out on the track at Rockingham on Monday night and Ellis on Wednesday night. We got some more action going on, don't we?
We got some more action with the Mythic Metals Truck Series from Spark Racing League. We are running. Where are we running next week, Chris? We ran at Rockingham and Daytona the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're running at Pocono on Wednesday night in that series. Boy. So, yeah, a little bit of a different type of a track. I don't know if I've ever done Pocono in a league race, if I've ever raced it in a league race. So.
It's going to be great. You're going to have Sky Shrek and Logan Threlkeld in the booth with our producer Kobe working that show on Wednesday nights. They do a great job. Johnny Rapp and Justin Wilson do an amazing job on Mondays. It takes a village, and this week has been a great week for Slingshot Racing Media. We're glad and ecstatic that you could join us for it, and we hope that you continue to choose to join us every single week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button to like the video if you have not already done so. Folks, thank you so much for joining us from Sonoma Wine Country tonight for race number 14 of the Fall Creek Plumbing Series. Cody Giles takes the win in thrilling fashion tonight. We'll catch y'all next week on the other side of the country in Milwaukee. So long, everyone from California. Have a great night and a great week.